Alrighty, well, welcome everyone. Steve Check, Taylor McGuire here from Empyrean Technologies, where we ask you to entrust us to manage your IT so you can manage your business. This is our August edition of our 2021 webinar series. We've been discussing various topics to help you make good decisions with your IT infrastructure and running your business. If you missed out on our previous webinars, we have recordings available of those. Just shoot us an email, we can get those to you, and I believe they're also posted on our website. We put a slide up at the end of the presentation just to cover off where you can find those. Over the last few years, Office 365 has become a mainstream platform for small businesses to host email, share documents via SharePoint, OneDrive, and gain access to Microsoft apps through a subscription billing model. Many of our clients have made this migration to Office 365 platform at a pretty basic level and are not yet utilizing all the technology that's available. With the recent pandemic, a lot of people have pivoted to using Teams, and the platform continues to mature. And I'm pretty sure that those of you that are using may not be fully aware of what's available through the Office 365 platform. So our hope today is that you learn something about Office 365. You find some value in maybe leveraging some of the technology in the platform that we can help you with. And we'll talk about that by presenting some opportunity to present questions via the chat during the presentation, and at the end we'll have a Q&A section. So the agenda for today is about 20-25 minute presentation by our partners here. They're going to present on the Office 365 platform, Azure, Teams calling, a bunch of topics like that. Feel free to put questions in the chat throughout, and we'll do our best to answer them. Taylor, I'll hand it over to you and let you introduce our guests and any other points of business here that I might have missed.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Just here's a slide just kind of outlining a couple of the previous cybersecurity focused webinars that we've done recently. Our presenters today, Brian McManaman, Jordan Taj, and Andrew Wallace. They are our primary license provider for Office 365, Microsoft Azure, and some other Microsoft products. So we've come to know them really well and really rely on their expertise to help us out with licensing questions and issues and support. So our upcoming webinar that we're going to have in September, we're actually going to be giving away half an hour's worth of free security awareness training. So this is a service that we've provided for some clients. We have been doing kind of like online or in-person training. So one of our staff, Michael Berg, is going to take about half an hour in September and kind of just share some things for your staff to look out for, how to protect yourself. So feel free to invite your end users out to that training, and we'll have more details on that following this. We also have a prize draw for $100 Amazon gift card, a couple of $25 Amazon gift cards, and Packstate is giving away some swag bags. So we look forward to sharing those out at the end of this. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to Brian.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Taylor, for the introduction and everything. Looking forward to talking to everybody about Microsoft 365 and everything that it entails. I'm going to share my screen here in just a second. Everybody's able to see the screen there?
Yep.
Perfect.
We're good.
So today we're going to go over a couple different things. We're going to go over the Microsoft 365 licenses overview. We're going to go over Microsoft for the modern workplace, go into Microsoft Teams a little bit and how it can be used for a more collaborative environment, as well as Microsoft 365 Business Voice, and a little bit on Microsoft Azure. So what is Microsoft 365? Microsoft 365 comprises of the best of Windows 10, as well as those Office 365 applications that I'm sure you've all been using in the past, and puts that together with enterprise mobility and security. So this increases your business security posture, and tools already included with the Microsoft 365 bundle. In the past year, there's been a lot of name changes that have came from Microsoft with their license. So kind of wanted to clear some of that stuff up here so that we could make it a little bit easier for you to understand the licenses that are going on. So the first one's going to be Office 365, what used to be called Office 365 Business Essentials. That's now switched to Microsoft 365 Business Basic. These are going to be all your cloud services. So if you don't need any downloadable applications, and you can just access these on the web browser. The next one is going to be one of the more commonly used ones before was the Office 365 Business Premium. This is all those downloadable applications so that you can actually have these on your desktop, but you can also access them on your web browser as well. Microsoft 365 Business, which is the direction that Microsoft is going, is now Microsoft 365 Business Premium. So that's going to be the cloud applications, the downloadable desktop applications, and those advanced security features that will really help solidify and keep your business secure. Then we have the Office 365 Business, which is just those downloadable apps without having any need for an Exchange license, as well as the Office 365 Pro Plus license for those larger size businesses of 300 employees or more. So I'm sure you're all using Microsoft in one way or another, but there's a lot of different ways that you can not only just use Word, PowerPoint, and Excel and your Exchange license, but within the past year with COVID and everything that's been going on, we've seen people using Teams, OneDrive, and SharePoint even more. Now I'm going to pass it over to Jordan to kind of talk about some of those security features that come with the new Microsoft 365 licenses.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, Brian. And thank you all for letting us join and speak to you a little bit today on Microsoft and different components. And hopefully it can make sense of this ever expanding world of Microsoft here. But my name is Jordan. I'm a productivity solutions consultant, and I focus heavily on Microsoft, living and breathing in their portals day to day. So let's just dive in real quick to what makes M365 so great. You know, kind of some differences at a high level here. We won't get too in depth in this, but this is a specific comparison of an Office 365 E3, which you notice that those naming conventions that Brian was saying are kind of making a shift over to that Microsoft 365. What this means is it's adding layers of security and management features to an already existing Office 365 account. So, you know, you can easily really see the differences here in features that are coming included with Business Premium versus what comes included in an Office 365 E3. And again, focusing on increasing your security posture to combat data loss and other malicious attacks. Another slide here, just mainly for reference, just like at a quick 10,000 foot view, you can easily see the differences in the licensing. The M365 Business Premium is where that kind of higher level of security starts in the licensing. And then it just kind of goes up from there. So whether your organization needs a larger mailbox or an enterprise level solution, or maybe it needs an all-inclusive built-in license that comes with M365 E5, which is the most inclusive license that Microsoft has to offer. So, you know, it just depends on your organization, but definitely considering leveraging some of these additional features instead of having to formally adding them on to an Office license. All right, so really what is M365? Again, it's the components of advanced security, device management, and attaching that onto your already existing email, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, those applications that you're using day to day. So really it's about vendor consolidation. You know, this M365 license, these licensing, it's going to help you compete more efficiently, be more productive internally, sell more services, retain customers, because it's going to bring all the technology that an SMB, a small or medium-sized business needs, and it's at a single per user per month price point. So, you know, not too much to guess about that. But yeah, the Office 365 plus security and management, really just bringing together the Windows 10 component, the Office 365 apps, streamlined management and maintenance, but it's all, again, specifically built for the SMB space. So this is designed to help your company stay secure with their data while ensuring the employees are productive in the office or on the go. So devices anywhere you need to remote in, to have an active session from wherever you are has become more relevant than ever in this past year. All right, so a little bit on zero trust. I mean, as in the chat or maybe a thumbs up on your teams, has anyone heard of this? Are you implementing this internally? Have you thought about this? Really just, if you are, that's great. If you're not, there are some very easy ways to dive into this by leveraging, again, that single built-in license that's going to contain your single sign-on, your Azure Active Directory, the multi-factor authentication. Again, just increasing your security posture, making it more and more difficult for hackers, ransomware to come in and steal your data. We all see a news story every single day on a new ransomware attack or a phishing attack, and these hackers are getting smarter by the day. So the technology that Microsoft is producing is actively to combat those progresses in security gaps. All right, and just kind of highlighting, just at a very high level again, just benefits of working with Microsoft in your day-to-day. So functionality, the ability to choose how and when you work from any device. You could be on your cell phone, you could be at an airport, answering emails and working collaboratively with the rest of your team while connected to the internet. So, and what that comes with that is, again, advanced security, need for compliance, need to keep everything housed within your own internal environment. So Microsoft gives you the keys to do that from any location. Again, is that increasing that security posture in the cloud. More and more consumers are now realizing more than ever that security actually is more secure than an on-premise server. There was recent hacks with Microsoft on that affected every on-prem Exchange server, and not one cloud server was affected. So I think they like to boast that in the Canadian data center with Microsoft, that it would take you about 15 years to set up the security compliance and defaults the way that they had done it for the cloud for your own server. So kind of a fun fact about that. And we're just seeing that more and more customers make that move and make that jump to the cloud. Again, last thing is going to be on the savings, which I know is important to everybody here, is keeping those costs in line. But there was a study and they estimated the savings of around $16,000 a year by putting your infrastructure and leveraging IT in the cloud. So with M365, one of the most main application, the most used functionality of this license is going to be Microsoft Teams, which we are, I'm sure most of you are using, if not have heard of it before. So I'm going to actually hand this over to my colleague, Brian, to talk a little bit more on Microsoft Teams.
Perfect. Thank you, Jordan. Whoops. Apologies, folks. Yeah, so big thing about Microsoft Teams is it's just another way that you can make sure that your business is being as collaborative as possible. 86% of leaders cited that the lack of collaboration or communication is the top reason for workplace failure. And whoops, apologies. They're even seeing that 45% of leaders have implemented web-based collaboration solutions as they've been scaling, and seen that 65% of the leaders have been moving from hierarchical kind of platforms over to team-based working environments to make it more successful for the modern workplace. So Microsoft Teams, I'm sure a lot of you have already been using it, but just to make sure that you're maximizing everything that you can out of it. Obviously, you already know that you can do chats and certain collaborations in it. And then even past that, having the meetings and calling aspect of it has been something that's been really great, and that we've seen a lot of companies transform in the past year as everybody's gone working remote. Even past that, you're able to build out applications and use these apps inside of Teams to help manage workflow, so it's even much more collaborative and even better as time goes on. What Teams can do for you, it can transform your workplace collaboration. So now you're able to work with different departments on a single pane of glass and have those conversations be really like continuity is just all there, where you can work across the different departments. Streamlining business processes. Sorry, I can't speak, guys. Streamlining business processes. You need ready access to these business critical data applications and be able to execute repetitive processes. Since Teams is a true platform, you can plug in these apps and services that you're already using today. This integrates all really well right into Teams. You'll be able to connect to everybody on a single platform. So you're able to access calendars and chats and different teams from different departments. Makes it really possible to streamline those processes that you're doing throughout your entire company. But the best part about it is that it provides enterprise-grade security and compliance. So anything that you're worried about, it keeps all your business data, your different files that you have and that you're sharing within your company. It keeps all those very secure. So now I'm going to pass it back to Jordan to go over why Microsoft Teams.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. And really, why Microsoft Teams is everything that you've said on those previous two slides. There's a ton of different solutions out there. There's a marketplace, that you can, different chats and everything. So why Microsoft? Why Microsoft Teams? Why is this the best choice? So really, it just comes down to Microsoft's dedication, their investment into Teams, concentrating and focusing on improving it day in and day out, making it the best it can be for really every single type of worker, from CEOs to your accounting teams to the frontline workers, healthcare, whatever it may be, to be able to collaborate in real time, not only makes you more productive internally, but then, it increases your productivity to scale your business. So, the Microsoft group is really the largest graph of human activity that work ever created. It's a commodity now. And so they're able to deliver these AI powered experiences that, actually make your life better. Certified devices. So any device pretty much works with Teams, iOS, Android, Mac, you name it. It's all collaborative and it just increases that workflow. The integrations, and then it's available in 181 markets, 53 different languages. So it truly is a worldwide enterprise solution, but it is user friendly. It is built for the SMB. It's built for enterprise. It's every single department that you can imagine, can leverage Teams. You can go to the next slide there. And, personally, I'm in sales. Brian is in sales in our organization, so we use Teams every single day to discuss opportunities, to collaborate in real time, to discuss any issues that are happening, any fires that we need to put out. It's easily to, I get a notification on my phone if I'm not at my computer. And there's ways to configure all of those things and set up, and it's very, very user friendly. But finance teams, marketing teams, you name it, they're all the Teams is built for you. And we'll go to the next slide. This is a good transition here into another aspect of Teams and how it can make you more productive. And I can pass this over to Andrew Wallace. He's going to talk a little bit about Business Voice.
Thank you, Jordan. And Microsoft 365 Business Voice is something to get excited about. Now with Teams, any user has the ability to convert their license into a fully cloud-hosted PBX system with Microsoft 365 Business Voice. Microsoft has deemed M365 Business Voice the enterprise voice for the cloud. And with each voice license, the user gets an audio conferencing license where they can create a meeting and invite up to 250 users that can dial in for free. It also includes for outbound and inbound calls, the Microsoft phone system and a calling plan with 3,000 minutes per user, which is pooled across the company for each user that has an M365 Business Voice license, and they can make calls all across US and Canada. The promotions and pricing may vary on M365 Business Voice, so please reach out to Empyrean for your options. Next slide, please, Jordan. And then some users still prefer the old school hard phone experience. The good news is that Microsoft 365 Business Voice and Teams is compatible with hundreds of pre-approved certified devices. Teams in the phone system will work on a variety of personal devices as well as shared devices within your office. Perfect for any work environment, whether you're in the office or working from home. Microsoft is here to serve the hybrid workforce. Some of the most commonly used devices that we see Teams and Business Voice used on are the desk phone, mobile phone, PC, laptop, and then it's perfect for the office when you're using those shared devices as well. And now I will hand it over to Tremaine Bramer, who will be covering some Azure.
Good afternoon. Yes, Tremaine Bramer here. Thanks, Andrew. I'm the Infrastructure Solutions Consultant, and I'm going to talk about some of the advantages of using cloud infrastructure. Turn my camera on for you guys. And specifically using Microsoft Azure. Azure has roughly 20,000 SKUs, but we primarily focus on about 3. We really only focus on compute, storage, and networking for the most part. And primarily when we're working in the SMB space, we're looking at clients who have on-premise servers looking to potentially get off those on-premise servers. So they're in either your office closet or they're at a colo facility and you want to get rid of those, retire them, and move them to the cloud. And so what are the reasons why you might want to do that? Well, you can switch from a CapEx model to an OpEx model. So you no longer have to put out a large sum of money to purchase a lot of infrastructure. And you can move to more of a, like your cell phone plan, where you only pay for what you use in an operational expense model. You're also very scalable in this particular environment because when you're purchasing hardware, you're having to buy lots of hardware that you can potentially grow into. But if you, in the cloud model, you can actually spin up servers very, very quickly. And so you can add them when you need them, get rid of them when you don't. So that's what the scale out, scale up is, and scale down. And then you can resize them. So if you're over provisioned, you can actually reduce the size of that server so that you're not actually paying for a server that's maybe too large for what you actually really need. It takes away the headache of actually having to manage hardware. So you no longer have to go to that closet and swap out a hard drive disk because it failed or a power supply. Microsoft is actually taking care of all that infrastructure for you. Risk is actually reduced because you're only paying as you go. So you don't have any contracts. You're not putting any money up front for upfront costs. You actually just use what you use during the course of the month. If you want to turn your services off, you can. And then your usage actually stops and you stop being billed for that particular service that you're actually using. The other advantages are you get cool technology out of the box. So they're going to copy your data, what they call local redundant storage, and they'll make 3 copies of that data so that it's in separate parts of the data center, so you don't have that single point of failure. You get security because your disk that you have your servers and that has your data is actually encrypted. And then there are services like the Security Center, which can help make your environment more secure and give you reporting on security. Your business continuity, because you can use services like Azure Site Recovery to quickly recover to another region if you need to for disaster recovery purposes, and Azure Cost Manager, which helps you maintain visibility into your actual usage. Azure is just a really vital part of businesses today because they offer lots of flexibility in being able to host your data and your applications. And one of the really, really cool things about Microsoft Azure is because they are constantly being looked at by hackers as to try and get into their environments, they're constantly having to make improvements to their security. And they pass that security on to their customers. And so as a customer on the Microsoft Azure platform, you're actually getting the benefits that Microsoft has as far as hardening their environment passed on to you. And so when you're thinking about the security that you have in your own environment, you can say, well, I'm actually probably going to be a lot safer on the Microsoft platform. And with that, I think we pass it back to Brian.
Well, don't know where Brian is, but
Yeah,
thanks a lot, everyone, for taking the time to share that with us. I think one of the things I just wanted to mention over the last year and a half, especially Microsoft Teams is something that our company, Empyrean Technologies, has really relied on heavily. I would almost say that 20 to 40% of our business is actually done over Teams now, as far as interaction between our different internal teams and operations and administration, et cetera. So it's become a really critical part of our business. We've been using it for probably about 3-4 years now, but fantastic product. It's always growing, always changing, something I highly recommend to improve communication amongst your team members. So that's kind of my take here. We do have a couple of prize winners.
Could I, if I would, could interject here just quickly? It's Steve here. I just thought of this when Tremaine was talking about Azure, and basically that's the ability for some of our small clients over the last year. They've actually eliminated in-house servers by placing those servers in Azure. So basically, Azure is a platform that allows you to, under the right circumstance, move all your current in-house server infrastructure into the cloud. And that's really a real basic explanation of it. There's a lot more to it than that. I just want to make sure that everybody understood what that type of product might be leveraged for in your small business. And we've done quite a number of projects over the last few months where, for even an accounting firm, they moved everything out of their office, and they've gone 100% virtual by moving all their many accounting apps into a server hosted in Microsoft Azure or servers hosted in Microsoft Azure. So it's a great way to thing to consider if you're at the point of a refresh cycle on a server. You're saying, hey, we got to refresh our server soon. Maybe that Azure is something that we should have a conversation about, because there are good opportunities to do that very securely. And again, with the move to more of a spread out workplace, let's just put it that way, people working from home in various locations, that might be a perfect fit for some of you out there. So I just wanted to address that a little bit. I appreciate the technical explanation of it. That's kind of a simpler explanation maybe. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve. Anything else from Brian or Paxi?
yeah. Just if anybody did have any questions over anything that we went over, feel free to either post them in the chat or speak up now, or reach out to your Taylor or your Empyrean rep, and we can get you an answer for anything that you need.
All right, I'll just announce a couple of quick winners here. Sunny won $100 gift cards. Brent, Laureen, Cornell, and Fred won $25 cards. And everybody else is going to get a nice little t-shirt and socks and a couple other things from PAX 8. So we'll get those out to you guys here in the next couple of days. So thanks everyone for attending, and appreciate your time.
Yeah, and thank you very much for attending. And if you have any questions about anything today, please reach out to Taylor or myself. Happy to answer your questions, walk you through in more detail some of the information that's been provided, talk about how that might apply to your individual situation. Happy to have those discussions. Thanks for attending. Thanks, everyone.